there, little girls and boys. Here's a chance to win fabulous gifts. In celebration of World Children's Day, People's Bank is giving a gift array. So make a deposit now in your Isarudana or Sisudana savings accounts. This year, we're celebrating Children's Day by giving special gifts to all our little customers. All you need to do is make a deposit in your Isarudana or Sisudana savings accounts between 1st October and 31st December. For more details, visit your nearest People's Bank branch.
In a few moments, the news.
Is make a deposit in your Isarudana or Sisudana savings accounts between 1st October and 31st December.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 6:15. Here's the news, edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, read by Victor Raj. First, take a look at the headlines of the local news. The Media Minister emphasizes that media freedom will not be curtailed. A special investigation launched into the release of former Minister Rishad Baduddin's brother. Parliamentarian S.B. Dissanayake says that NGOs which supported 19th Amendment are criticizing the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. The Appeals Court orders the Central Environment Authority to return garbage containers sent by a British company. Foreign news. New 3-tier restrictions for COVID-19 come into force in England. Sports news. Rugby Championship. South Africa given deadline to decide whether to participate. Local news in detail. Minister Keheli Rambukkala says that media freedom will not be curtailed. He said that media should protect ethics and work with responsibility while safeguarding accuracy. The minister said that there is a full media freedom in the country. Minister Keheli Rambukkala mentioned this when he met the British High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, Hera Halton, at his ministry yesterday. The minister said that 25 media schools will be launched in districts with the aim of increasing media literacy of the students, and he expects the support of Britain in this regard. The minister said that children should be made to understand media during the school age. He said that media literacy promotion for school children in Jaffna districts was successful. The minister further said that the Government Information Department has launched an SMS service to provide accurate news. He added that a new program will be implemented to publish news over social media with the coordination of the media organizations. Police media spokesperson DIG Ajit Rohana says that an internal investigation has been launched into the release of the Riyaj Baduddin, who is the brother of the former Minister Rishad Baduddin, and the reasons for release. The Attorney General has instructed the acting IGP to recommence an investigation into the incident under 7 points. Accordingly, a special inquiry has commenced on the instruction of the Defence Secretary and the acting IGP. 2 teams have been deployed under this supervision of the DIG of the CID to conduct the investigation. Parliamentarian S.B. Dissanayake says that NGO representatives who supported to create the 19th Amendment to the Constitution are criticizing the 20th Amendment. He said although the opposition says that the 20th Amendment will remove audit and procurement, it is not true. He was speaking during a media briefing today at Podujana Peramula Party office on Nilum Mawatha in Battaramulla. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Is make a deposit in your Isarudana or Sisudana savings accounts between 1st October and 31st December.
Continuing with more local news, the Appeals Court has ordered the Central Environment Authority to send back 242 garbage containers which were imported recently to the country. The order was given by the chairman of the appeals court, Justice A.H.M.G. Nawaz, and Justice Sobhita Rajakaruna, when a petition seeking an order to ban importation of garbage was taken up today. The British company which sent the garbage containers was written stating they are prepared to accept the containers. The stock of garbage is at the Katunaika Investment Promotion Zone at present. The captain of the ill-fated crude oil tanker MT New Diamond has pleaded guilty for the charges filed against him before the Colombo High Court. The case against the Greek captain Stereo Elias was with regard to the fire which occurred on the ship causing a minor oil leak on the Sri Lankan waters was taken up today. During the proceedings today, the accused captain had pleaded guilty for all charges filed against him. Subsequently, the Attorney General has sought a court order for compensation in a sum of 200 million rupees. Developity COVID cluster has increased to 2,608. 17 new infected persons have been found today. Among them are 5 employees of the Brandix and 12 of their contacts. Meanwhile, police media spokesman DIG Ajit Chauhan said that the decision to open food stalls and pharmacies where there are curfew will be decided tomorrow. He said that 11 individuals have been arrested for violating quarantine curfew during the past 24 hours. 135 have been taken into custody so far since the date of announcement of curfew. Minister Dalasala Paramasa has instructed relevant authorities to immediately send employees of power plants belonging to the electricity board for PCR tests. Accordingly, steps have been taken to send them for PCR tests within next few days. Employees of Norachole Coal Power Plant and Manau Wind Power Plant will be subjected to PCR tests shortly. District Director of Regional Health Services, Dr. W.K.S.K. Kumaravansa says that 47 infected persons at Polonnaruwa district quarantine centres have been sent for treatment. He said that 43 contacts of the Minuvangada corona cluster found from the Polonnaruwa districts are undergoing quarantine at their homes. Dr. Kumaravansa said that PCR tests conducted on them confirmed that they have not been infected with the virus. The Committee of Parliamentary Business will meet on Friday afternoon. Discussions on the scheduled 20th Amendment to the Constitution are expected to take place on that day. That ends local news.
All our little customers, all you need to do is make a deposit in your Isarudana or Sisudana savings accounts between 1st October and 31st December. For more details, visit your nearest People's Bank branch.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
China, Russia and Cuba won seats in the UN Human Rights Council despite opposition from activist groups. Russia and Cuba were running unopposed, but China and Saudi Arabia were in a five-way race in the only contested race for the seat on the Human Rights Council yesterday. In secret ballot voting, Pakistan received 169 votes, Uzbekistan 164, Nepal 150 and China 139. That came to you in main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Police spokesman Jadit Trowan said traffic light signals at several roads in Colombo are automatically operated from today as a pilot project to reduce traffic congestion in Colombo. Earlier, police said that a survey for updates on all traffic light signals would be carried out, aiming at reducing traffic congestion in Colombo. That came to you in Watch Light. Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. New 3-tier restrictions for COVID-19 come into effect in England. Kyrgyzstan's president rejects the country's newly appointed prime minister. Great Barrier Reef has lost half of its corals since 1995. World news in detail. The new 3-tier system of COVID-19 restrictions has begun in England. Most of the country is in the lowest tier, medium, but millions of people in the north and midland face extra curbs on households mixing. The Liverpool region is the only area to be under the toughest rules, with pubs and bars not serving meals closed. Government health officers are due to meet later to discuss the possibility of Greater Manchester, Lancashire and some other areas joining the top tier. Kyrgyzstan's president has rejected the country's newly appointed prime minister in the latest political deadlock in the Central Asian state. Suranbay Jinbekov asked Parliament to vote again after MPs chose nationalist politician Sergei Japarov. The president said there were doubts over whether lawmakers had followed voting rules. Kyrgyzstan has been gripped by a political crisis since disputed parliamentary polls on 4th of October. A study has found Australia's Great Barrier Reef has lost more than half of its corals since 1995 due to warmer seas driven by climate change. Scientists found all types of corals had suffered a decline across the world's largest reef system. The steepest falls came after mass bleaching events in 2016 and 2017. More mass bleachings occurred this year. The researchers said there is no time to lose the greenhouse gas emissions must sharply decrease. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. New 3-tier restrictions for COVID-19 come into force in England. Kyrgyzstan's president rejects the country's newly appointed prime minister. Great Barrier Reef has lost half of its corals since 1995. That ends world news. Let's take a look at the development news. Sri Lanka will invite private investors to build multi-story car parks as public-private partnerships with the Urban Development Authority. The Cabinet of Ministers had approved a proposal by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa as the Minister of Urban Development to call for proposals from private investors. Under the first program, private investors would be invited to build multi-story car parks with mechanical parking stations in 8 venues in Colombo, Baramulla, Anuradhapura and Kandy as a public-private partnerships. That ends development news.
Sports news is brought to you by
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Rugby news. South Africa has delayed their departure to the Rugby Championship while they decided whether to take part during the coronavirus pandemic. The Springbok have not played since beating England in the World Cup final in Japan last November. The 6-week championship, which begins on 31st of October, will be held earlier in Australia because of the pandemic. Tournament organisers has given the world champions another 48 hours to agree participation. That ends sports news.
Hey guys, we've got our very own Queen Bee here to review something for us.
Okay, here we go. It's the right amount of crunch and OMG, so much chocolate. The texture is so good. It's creamy and velvety and just so much chocolate. The packaging is super cool and new and there's like so much chocolate. And OMG, the taste, it tastes like so good and there's so much chocolate. Like with every bite. 10 out of 10 for me.
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings. Reach out the high goals.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Dialogue, Axiata of Sri Lanka and Axiata Digital Labs, a technology unit of Malaysia-based group, said it won a global award for digital transformation given by Industry Association, beating Asian and European contenders. Dialogue said they shared the award with Vodafone UK and Infosys in the customer experience category, beating shortlisted firms including China, Unicom and an Orange unit. That ends Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Economic news. Courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The International Monetary Fund has warned that policymakers' unprecedented response to the global health crisis has contained risks to the financial system. Is it a prolonged recession or policy missteps could ignite growing vulnerabilities worldwide? The world's largest multilateral lender said that some banking systems could experience capital shortfalls should the economic downturn in those regions continue. The IMF said growing debt burdens in both the private and public sectors could pose future challenges to financial markets. That ends economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th stage begins. 40% discount for selected goods from 12th to 25th of October. Visit CIB today.
The Met Department says showers will occur tomorrow at times in western, Sabaragamu, central and northwestern provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy rainfalls above 50 mm are likely at some places in Nuvarelia, Kandy, Ratnapura, Kayakalla, Gaul and Mathura districts. A few showers may occur in Anuradhapura and Hambantota districts. Strong gusty winds about 60 km per hour can be experienced across the island, particularly in the northern, north central and northwestern provinces, Trincomalee and Hambantota districts and in the western slope of the Central Hills. That came to you in Weather Report.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th stage begins. 40% discount for selected goods from 12th to 25th of October. Visit CIB today.
A recap of the headlines to wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka. The media minister emphasizes that the media freedom will not be curtailed. A special investigation launched into the release of the former minister Rishad Baduddin's brother. Parliamentarian S.B. Dissanayake says that NGOs which supported 19th Amendment are criticizing the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. The appeals court orders the Central Environment Authority to return garbage containers sent by a British company. Foreign news, new 3-tier restrictions for COVID-19 come into force in England. Sports Rugby Championship, South Africa given deadline to decide whether to participate.